let's talk about Jezebel energy. Yes, it's absolutely real. Yes, people need to have awareness of it and use discernment, but we don't need to fear. We just need to apply wisdom, use guidance, and understand that Jezebel energy is actually real. What is Jezebel energy? It is someone who shows up in a lower vibration, a dark energy. It may feel addicting because positive and negative energy feels addicting, whether, you know what I mean, whether it's either or. So you have to use discernment on, is it good for you? It may feel good, but it may be a toxic feel good. You may be sucked into an illusion by Jezebel energy of what they want to present, but that's not really how they are. And a lot of them use sexual energy to pull people into that illusion. And it's dark. And it's dangerous. And sometimes it can lead to death. And that's why I want to make a video today of awareness about Jezebel energy, because it is real. And it's happening out there. And I really want, especially men, to understand that it is important to listen to your intuition, your gut, when it's telling you something. If it's telling you something's off, listen to it. If it's telling you that she's not showing up the way that she, a lot of people can say a lot of things, but there's just something off about the energy and you just can't put your finger on it. But they keep trying to pull you into their illusion of what they want you to think that how they are. They want you to think that they're a really genuine person, and they're not. They're in it for their own reasons. Let's give an example, because this is very popular out there. The Kouri Richins trial and murder. Her husband knew. He knew something was off, and he was telling people. And that is that's a superpower. That's your power, the intuition. This is a huge example. His intuition, his higher self was constantly telling him something's off, especially the last 3 months. It was telling him something was off, to change all of his money and make sure it was protected if anything ever happened to him. But he didn't listen because he feared what would happen to his kids if he left. He didn't take that faith, knowing the universe would have his back and that they would take care of the Jezebel. The universe will take care of the Jezebel. You don't have to worry about that. If he just would have listened to himself, he wouldn't have been in the predicament that he had been in. And, he lost his life. I can't go into details. I don't think it's my position. And I do ask, and I know things about details about, really what goes on. And sometimes I don't feel like it's my position. And I'm not trying to get likes and subscribers because of it. I'm honestly, genuinely trying to help people understand the lesson from her life and his, so that we can all as a collective learn from them. We don't want to judge the situation and not learn from it. We actually do want to learn as a collective and uplift all of us and help us all show up better. Even Kouri, making better choices. And you have to use discernment. Is she a Jezebel? Because she's still trying to persuade herself and say, hey, I'm this type of person. Is she? And that's what society and collective has to figure out and learn from a situation that is so big like that. It's actually teaching the collective. It's teaching all of us a huge lesson, and many. But the biggest lesson I took from it is that the Richins guy, he should have listened to his intuition. And because he didn't, he lost his life. It could be that detrimental when you are dealing with a very toxic illusion energy and you're sucked into it because, It's really hard when you're sucked into it. And his emotions were all chaotic, and his body was out of balance. I'm sure energetically and chemically. He wasn't thinking clear, meaning when we think clear and we're completely balanced, we don't really question our higher self. We're clear and we're on it. And you know what I mean? And when we're out of balance, that's when we question and we think we're crazy when that stuff comes up and it's telling you, hey, something's off. So he probably thought he was crazy, and that's why he laughed. And, because a lot of us, when we tap into our powers, we think, we make a joke about it because we can't physically tell you. We just know our intuition's telling us something. Our higher self is telling us something. It's telling us what's going on behind the scenes. It's telling us what our partner's doing. It's telling you what type of energy that you're dealing with. You have to master that and pass the test so that you can protect yourself and protect your family and protect your life. So I don't want you to take it serious and heavy, and because it's a lot of heaviness from that trial. So we want to shift our perspective, take a step back and observe and say, hey, how could Mr. Richins have showed up better for himself? What choices could he have made better so that he didn't put himself in that predicament and his kids? And it's a lesson for all of us collective. So we are very grateful for the lesson from even Kouri too. You got to learn from her. You got to learn from that type of energy. She chose to choose that role and those choices, but we don't want to bring her down. We want to learn from her. We want to learn that it's when you are in a type of situation that feels impossible and chaotic and crazy, that you make better choices, that you take accountability for who you are and how you show up. You be honest and communicate. You know what I mean? So you can learn a lot from her and say, hey, I don't want to be like that, and I don't want to date someone like that. Or even if you are, make sure you're listening. Don't take it so serious, but pass the test and pick whatever your higher self's telling you. If it's telling you to walk away, walk away. If it's telling you that's Jezebel energy, don't date it. Don't date her. Don't date or get into a relationship if your intuition's telling you that it's a no. So with Mr. Richins, if he would have just listened to himself and not blocked off his powers and his ability to actually see through her illusion, her Jezebel energy, he would have handled it. And that's what we need to learn. Especially men need to learn that it's not just a woman's thing. You guys have intuition too. Men have intuition. Listen to your higher self. It's okay to walk away. I don't care if there's kids involved or not. It may be chaotic. The kids will be fine. The universe has it. I promise. I'm talking in the worst case scenarios, because he was scared if he left, he would have to share custody rights with her, and he didn't know what would happen. That's okay. I understand that. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of unknown. But if you choose yourself and choose what's right, the universe has got your back. It has your back, and it has your kids. It's got everybody's back, and it flows a lot better, and it takes care of the Jezebel dark energy. The dark energy cannot stand in the light. And when you choose yourself and you choose what's for your highest good and your kids, you win. That's good karma, because you're in light energy, and you're not trying to win out of vindictive reasons or evil or try to take advantage of anybody. That's what Jezebel energy is. They're trying to use people sexually, for money, physically, needs, love, safety, security, whatever it is. You as a man have to determine, is this woman showing up in a genuine way? A lot of people say things, but they may not necessarily be that way. Use your gut. What does your gut say? If your gut says, hey, this person's off and it feels heavy, it's a no. Even if they're hot, sexy, the coolest woman you think you've ever seen, because how she is. But that's not really how she is behind scenes. So take a step back, listen to your intuition, address learning and observing about Jezebel energy. The main example out there right now is the Kouri Richins trial, and we're not judging her. We're just learning and observing so that we can actually learn as a collective from the mistakes and the choices that they made so that we can make better choices for ourselves. And that's what we learn from everybody and all of us. And, you know, if I was Mr. Richins, that's what I would want too. If I was up there, I'd be like, yeah, learn from me, man. If your gut says she's poisoning you, man. Listen to that. That's not crazy. That's actually your powers, your superpowers. It's actually, I'm validating that today. It is a confirmation. Yes, it's real. I work with it all the time. With powers, superpowers, I work with Jezebel energy. None of them ever win. Okay? And a lot of them hold jealousy and insecurity and some deep healing, you know, they just hold some deep wounds that they don't take care of. So they project them, and it just makes their life chaotic. And it could start from their childhood. It doesn't matter. It's their karma. We're not here to fix them. It's not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to learn from Jezebel energy, learn what it actually is, not judge it. We look at it light, and we just make better choices as a collective and really use discernment when it's in front of us. Okay? Like the private investigator, he was so great with his perspective. You know, we are good spirits, but when we come down here in bodies, we make good and bad choices. That's why we want to learn from everybody. And it was such a great perspective. The private investigator is very intelligent that worked on that case. So if you want to, you know, learn from him too, that's really great. I highly recommend just listening to him. His perspective is, it's a very higher perspective. I was honestly shocked. I was impressed, and I'm not impressed with a lot of people's perspective a lot, because we're all learning how to, you know, shift those perspectives higher so that we can look at different things and Jezebel energy differently, but actually learn from it and learn about who we are and our connection to our powers, and, you know, using discernment with our life. That's why we have sensories all over our body that's telling us constantly about energy, the things that we can't see. There's a lot of people that will wrap you into their illusion. You got to use discernment and know how to trust yourself, gain that trust, master your energy, master your balance, master your powers, and your emotional intelligence. Most of all, listen to yourself. Listen to what is for your highest good. Okay? So I hope that helped today learn about Jezebel energy. And I'm sending you lots of love and light. We dissolve the dark, and we stand in the light, and we stand in our high vibrations, and we always choose what we feel is right. No matter of the unknown, no matter if we don't know what's going to happen, we always choose what we think and feel is right for us, even if it's scary. Pride, the way things look at, money, any of that, none of that's relevant. Let all that go. I promise the universe will be on your side if you learn about this type of energy. Stay away from it. And it can be different ways. I'm just giving you an example of Jezebel energy because it's really popular of, you know, people kind of know what that means. But there's different types that go into that. So use discernment. But most of all, you don't really need to know everything. Just use your gut, okay? Listen to yourself. That's the most important message today, okay? I'll see you next time.